America.
I think we are talking about the same consistent gun being brought to school and causing mass destruction. I don't think they're talking about stripping and taking away all of you guys' guns. I'm just saying that they're proposing something needs to be done. And if you didn't need, like, we're not walking around with people chasing us down. Like, I don't know, even in the hood. I don't know what y'all like. I grew up in Shreveport. Still didn't need a machine gun to walk around in. And I'm talking about that has one of the highest murder capitals in the country. You do not need a machine gun, an automatic rifle.
I think
But if we're getting caught up on specific
You
gun
don't.
types.
You've never needed it before. Let's be for real.
Okay, so we gotta put a pin in it, because we're chasing specific issues. I wanna ask, these are not talking questions, these are just raise your hand. So on this side,
Okay.
I know it's hard. Who here would be in support? The government should get involved with taking guns, certain guns, away from citizens. Raise your hand.
Is this gun regulation, or is this
Gun
like
reg, yeah.
actually removing it from house?
Let's just say you're in support of some policy that would remove at least some guns from the possession of citizens. Raise your hand.
As a veteran, though?
Yes, because it's common sense.
I was deployed in Afghanistan.
All right,
It had that.
our next prompt. Harris doesn't understand the economy as well as Trump. Will our agreeers step forward?
For me, at least, I'm obviously probably a lot younger than the people on the show, but for me, the way that I see the economy going from the 4 years that she's been in office with Biden to the 4 years that Trump has been in office. You know, I saw, at least with my family and the people around me, the, economy prospered a lot more. You know, people my age have to wait on going to school because they have to work 2 jobs for 3 years to build that money back, because the way the state and the economy was in, their parents had to use their college fund over these past 4 years to keep afloat. And we didn't see that with Trump. You know, people were getting wealthier and people were benefiting more. And I just don't feel that she's really seeing those issues.
And you attribute this to the
fact that-
Biden-Harris administration.
Absolutely, because it's happened the past 4 years. My sister had to drop out of school due to the fact that it was just to this like influx of money and inflation and everything and all the costs that it brings. There's just no scholarships aren't scholarships anymore.
Let's bring in our disagreeers.
I disagree in the sense that we underestimate Kamala Harris way too much. And I think that the prompt, the question is like, she doesn't understand. Oh, she fully understands. And I think that the problem is us underestimating, because she understands that prices were lower with Trump. She understands that the grocery prices and food, going to McDonald's, I went to McDonald's one day, the next day I'm like, wait, a Big Mac wasn't this much under Trump. Like, what's going on, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think she understands these things and that the American people are suffering. And she understands it to the point to where, she took one of his policies, that no tax on tips. She does what she does. She tells people what they want to hear. Like the flattery language, it's going to be so much nice, and the money we're going to give you. But she knows exactly what she's doing.
Okay, so some of the things that you guys touched on, just about the state of the economy that was inherited when Kamala and Biden took over in office. I think we have to remember that they got a messed up economy. I think inflation went up 9.1% when he first came into office, and that's because every 4 years, you're going to see the fallout from the next election, the next president. Does that make sense? You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So what they received was due to what Trump did. What Trump is getting praising for, what you guys are praising for, the Obama administration set the playing ground for that. That's how it works. You only see the fallout from it once the next person is in office a lot of times, because it takes a couple years sometimes to see the results.
Real quick, I want to talk about the tax on tips, because that's something that I don't agree with. I didn't agree when Donald Trump proposed it, and I didn't agree when Kamala Harris supported it. Again, I'm somebody who's in favor of the working class, but taking taxes off tips is, again, something that is sold as a very good idea, but it doesn't actually help the people that it's propagated to help. And that's mostly because people who work wages where they require tips don't even meet the threshold to actually pay federal income taxes. So a lot of the times it's used to justify corporations or large businesses or even small businesses from exploiting workers that aren't being paid a living wage. They're actually relying on the generosity of customers that come in. Mm-hmm. And it's a policy that's meant to justify or make that system continue to happen. I'm talking back on the Trump economy. I don't think that the Trump economy was necessarily bad. I wouldn't say that that's because of the actions of Donald Trump. Within 10 days of him being inaugurated, the right was so excited to announce that the Dow Jones Act increased all of the economists across the country